Hi film fans, Movie Master Brad Crawford here. Now a couple of weeks ago we did a video showcasing every film coming out for theaters in 2022. Well, we want to follow up on that with specific videos for every genre of that. Now, today we're going to focus on... Hello, boys and girls. I'm your killer friend, back again, Creepy Crawford. Well, it looks like the movie master here. Who are you gonna call? Looks like he already covered all the films of 2022. But me, well, I'm here to show you the films that go boo. We'll dive into these films, so let's begin. First up, we have War Hunt. Now, some people think that this is going to be a action horror, but me, well, I think it's going to be a horror action. Now here we have Mickey Rourke, basically playing Mickey Rourke with an eye patch on. With an accomplished rising star in horror directing and Mauro Borelli alongside acting vets like old Mickey here, well, I'd say that we're in for one wild ride. That, along with all the goodies that you found in the previews, like Nazis, soldiers, and spirits. Oh my. Now, something interesting about this film. In the collection of Grimm's fairy tales, we have one, The Seven Ravens. It deals in spells, spirits, and of course, ravens. And in this film, we see the feathers of a raven from the spirit that's stalking the soldiers. Now, since most of the Grimm fairy tales were found in or around the Black Forest, which is where this movie takes place, then do you think that maybe this story has any bearing on the film? This next one's gonna be a scream. Ah! What? Did you think I was kidding? Anyway, for the 2022 film, the killer cast is all coming back for another run at Ghostface. And they might be possibly adding to the body count with Dennis Quaid's son, Jack Quaid. See you soon, Jack. Other than that, there's not much to tell. Same slasher, different decade. Still though, they are fun as hell. Some people thought that the actual killer for this film turns out to be everyone's favorite fumbling, bumbling sheriff, Deputy Dewey. You gotta admit, it's a pretty nice idea. Oh, hi. I'm the director, and I'd like to personally apologize for that egregious pun that just happened. I'm sure that many of you were traumatized as I was. I can promise that Creepy Crawford will be severely punished and return to you very shortly. Thank you. Ah! Oh! Oh! I like me a little punishment. Now next we have Shattered. It's a film where a man's held against his will by a lover and her clique of criminals. With David Lowery behind the script. An expert in human horror like Obsessed and Lakeview Terrace. and rising star Sasha Lass with veteran actors John Malkovich and Frank Grillo. I'm telling you, it should be an entertaining tale of terror and pain. Don't you love me, Daddy? Well, I'm not your daddy, but I do love your work. And with original writer David Leslie coming back for the sequel, along with Isabel Furman, the original Esther, then the good work should continue. In this one, we get to see how she escaped her original confines and latched onto her first family. Her parents are going to be played by veteran actress and actor Julia Stiles and Rosef Sutherland, Donald Sutherland's other son. Oh, it'll be gorifying. That was lame. Oh, grow up already. Welcome to my pit. And finally, we're in February, so to start, we have The Devil's Light. It's where little Sister Anna takes up arms against the devil. And in doing so, she finds that there might be a little link between the demons and her past. And with little to do in the horror department, for writing and directing, we're going to have to rely on the horror chops of Scream Queen royalty, Virginia Madsen. Hopefully she can lend a hand. Or a hook. With the film Studio 666, we have the red-headed stepchild of the horror genre. Horror comedy. We have the legendary band Foo Fighters, and they're pulling a Raza, making their own feature film. You see, the band learns the hard way that the house that they've just moved into for their band's headquarters is possessed and hungry for some fresh flesh. With a good combination of horror and comedy talents amongst this cast and crew, then I'd say that this red-headed stepchild might just be worth the watch, if you dare. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I was just prepping some meat for dinner. Well, next up is a great movie, one of my favorites. It's starring one of my all-time greatest role models in Leatherface. We have in February another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A film with seemingly 100 different sequels, and yet they can never find a different title. Anyway, this will be a direct-to-Netflix sequel, seemingly going past all pre-existing sequels since the 1974 classic, and even bringing back the original heroine character, Sally Hardesty. Sounds like a familiar concept to me. And no, Marilyn Burns is not going to return for the character Sally this time. Although she is Scream Queen royalty, she's no Jamie Lee Curtis. I like a slow burn with certain things, but usually not with horror. That's a good sugar to flesh ratio. Now, I'll probably skip this one in the theaters, but this film is You'll Never Be Alone. And it's a period piece. You see, a young girl long, long ago finds a witch. And then she learns how to transform into other bodies, living out their lives through the centuries. And if you like The Witch, well then you just might like this movie as well. And here we have one of the most anticipated horror movies of the year. At least in my opinion. We see the directorial debut of the horror patron himself, Patrick Wilson, and the overnight icon, Lin Shaye, in Insidious 5. To the further we go. Well, in this we get to finally see what happened to Lin Shaye after she peered over Allison's wheelchair in the second film. And supposedly we get to see Dalton 10 years later in college in this new, fun nightmare. Oh, that was fun. Well, the next film is a split decision. Not split in the way of is it good or is it bad, but split as in what is it? You see, the next film is titled Untitled, Blumhouse production, and I've narrowed it down to two different possibilities. The first possibility is a film called Megan. It's going to be written by Akilah Cooper, and it's going to have starring the Get Out sensation Allison Williams. And the other, more appetizing possibility, at least in my opinion, The Nun 2. This will also be penned by Akilah Cooper, apparently an established writer in horror. And with her will also come Bonnie Adams, who is going to play the Nun. Unfortunately, though, my money is on Megan, but both are Blumhouse productions, so I'd say that either way, they should be pretty good. And finally, we have a story that's from the son of the king himself, Stephen King, Mr. Joe Hill. And it's a movie that's been pushed back for far too long. The Black Phone. For this, we have accomplished horror director Scott Derrickson, alongside Ethan Hawke, breaking his no bad guy rule as he plays a sinister serial killer of children. And if that's not horrifying enough for you, we get to see the spirits of his former victims, the children, trying to save the little character that we find in the film from sharing their same fickle fate. Death! Either way, I'd say that Ethan Hawke playing his first bad guy role would just be worth it. Oh. Well, that's it, boys and girls. I shudder to do this with you again in May, as I had a horrid time with you today. But I will do it again. Together we'll go through the second half of the year in horror, and we'll have a hell of a time. Until next time, fear the films. Whoa, what happened? Well, that was creepy. Well, anyway. Hi, film fans. I'm movie master Brad Crawford. And, hey, what Who turned the lights out? Hello? Movie Master working here. Anybody there? Man, this is some bullshit.